of sugar and gold. She's my Melanin Monroe, she's my Melanin Monroe. Fly and she knows that I am feeling her soul. She's my Melanin Monroe, my Melanin Monroe.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Melanin Monroe. Another day, more YouTube drama / celebrity drama, because this video is about Tasha K and Cardi B. Yes, Tasha K and Cardi B are finally in court from the lawsuit that was filed back in March of 2019. Cardi B filed a firmly worded slander, libel, and defamation lawsuit against Tasha K, who claims to have known the WAP artist before her musical career. Now, nearly 3 years later, the case is officially in trial. I don't know, y'all. Let's just get into the video. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this case and this situation, I'm going to bring y'all up to speed real quick in about 90 seconds or less. So in 2019, Cardi B submitted a shocking lawsuit to a Georgia federal court, naming Tasha K the defendant, as well as star Marie Jones. Now, Tasha K claims to have met Cardi B around 2013, currently conducts business in the nature of performing anti-aging products, but her real aspiration is to have a career in the entertainment industry as an actress. According to the original complaint, a November 2020 amended complaint dropped Jones from the suit and added Kiwi Studios as a defendant. Now, Tasha K's YouTube channel has over 1 million subscribers and nearly 190 million total views. Tasha K's most popular video to date is an interview with Jones entitled "Exclusive." Cardi B's ex-friend alleges Cardi B kept a huge box filled with monostat and reveals more. This video has over 4 million views, you guys. 4 million views. Within the first 60 seconds of this 50-minute sit-down long video, Jones made huge allegations responding to questions from Tasha K that confirmed that Cardi B previously worked as a prostitute, was allegedly a drug user, was allegedly on cocaine and Molly to be specific, and alleged that Cardi B has herpes. When asked about the fact that Cardi B refuted these and other claims and maintained that she didn't know Jones, the interviewee, who alleged shared an apartment with the New York City-born rapper, stated in part, "Well, to be honest with you, she takes a lot of drugs, so it could be memory lapse, and I'm okay with that." As far as us living in the same building as opposed to the same apartment, that is definitely not possible, because at the time when I went to New York City, I was on papers here in Georgia because I was going through court and wasn't able to get an apartment in my name. Then, with Cardi B having allegedly come to her in search of a job, Jones said that she provided assistance in exchange for room in the Grammy winner's apartment. "I have received several threats in my DMs," Jones elaborated when questioned about Cardi B's alleged street gang associations. "I was told that I'm last in line. Don't come to Chicago. I've gotten a lot of threats in my DMs." I do want to remind you guys that this is all alleged. Now, back to Cardi B's lawsuit against Tasha K. Was said to have released 38 videos about the artist at the time of the amended complaints filing, in the suit likewise targeted remarks that Jones allegedly made on social media. None of the previous mentioned statements about the plaintiff Cardi B are true. Cardi B was never a prostitute or a user of Molly and cocaine. Cardi B has never and does not have herpes, nor has she ever had herpes outbreaks on her mouth. Cardi B's defamation, slander, and libel actions maintains. Bearing in mind the latter, a newly filed defense exhibit list contains a staggering 125 pieces of evidence that Tasha K's attorney intend to introduce during trial. These items include, but are not limited to, a picture of Cardi with a cold sore on her lip, a video where Cardi refers to herself as a prostitute, a Cardi IG Live where she states that she's lived everything she raps about, a clip from Cardi B's song Everything where she raps about prostitution and drug use, a video of Cardi referring to herself as a stripper hoe. Lastly, sources reported that Cardi B appeared in a Georgia courtroom for a day-long jury selection process. As her counsel questioned 48 potential jurors, several friends of the Up artist were cut from the jury pool, as were an individual who said he was biased towards the YouTuber defendant and an individual who said he didn't like rap music. Opening statements took place last week, and the long-running courtroom confrontation represents one of several that Cardi B has been involved with in recent years. Now that you guys have an idea of the here and now and what the hell I'm talking about, let's get to what's going on in the courtroom right now. Cardi B took the stand in her trial against Tasha K on Thursday, telling a jury that she was suicidal over the alleged lies that Tasha K spread about her. Cardi B said, and I quote, "I felt extremely suicidal." Cardi B said on the witness stand in Atlanta, adding that she felt helpless after Tasha claimed to her 1 million followers that the rapper had herpes. The WAP rapper claimed that the comments made by Tasha K affected her relationship with her husband, Offset, because she was in such a dark place. "I felt defeated and depressed, and I didn't want to sleep with my husband," Cardi told the jury, adding that the ordeal caused her to suffer fatigue, weight loss, migraines, and anxiety, and ultimately had to seek help from a therapist. "Only an evil person could do that shit," Cardi reportedly said before apologizing for her language. Cardi, who filed the lawsuit back in 2019, also claimed that the herpes rumor led to fans questioning a photo of the rapper kissing her daughter Culture on the lips and allegedly led people to call her Cardi Herpes B, according to sources. Cardi B's lawyers accused Tasha K of spreading other false narratives, including that she cheated on her husband, used cocaine, was a prostitute, and that she effed herself with beer bottles on a effing stripper stage. Her attorneys told jurors that the YouTuber knowingly published lies about Cardi for her own gain, though Tasha K denies any wrongdoing. The trial is set to continue on Tuesday, January 18th. I don't know, you guys. Comment down below how you feel about all this. I personally enjoy watching Tasha K's channel. She always has the exclusive. She always has the latest and greatest. But I think Tasha may have bit the bullet with this one. Cardi B ain't coming to play with Tasha ass. And Tasha ain't got too much of a rebuttal or any kind of valid proof or evidence, facts proving that she was telling the truth. And you can't just go around saying stuff about people and feeling like people are going to just be okay with it, especially when it's not true. When she found out it wasn't true, she could have simply just unlisted the video. Simple. But instead, she continued to keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. And that shit then caught up with Tasha. So, I don't know, y'all. It's not looking good for our girl. It looks like she's going to be unwinding for real. Comment down below how you feel about all this. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you can be notified every single time that I upload. I'll keep you guys updated on what is going on with Unwind with Tasha K, because it ain't looking good for your girl, y'all. It ain't looking good. Until next time, beautiful people. Peace.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you guys a brief update. I can't give you too much right now because the star witness is on the stand, and the star witness is Cardi B. There's been about 20 minutes of testimony, and I would just say that the tears were flowing in the courtroom. It was flowing in the courtroom. As a matter of fact, I may have shed a few tears myself, but let's be professional here. Cardi's on the stand right now. Well, we just broke for lunch, but Cardi was on the stand testifying as to how Tasha K made her feel. She said, and I quote, "She never even cared to care. She lied and said her father raped a teenager. When asked by her attorney, Lisa Moore, 'Do you have herpes?' No. 'Do you have HPV?' No. 'Are you a prostitute?' No. 'Have you ever engaged in any debasing acts?' No. When asked, how did these lies make her feel? I felt helpless, fatigued, tired, anxiety. I felt suicidal. Cardi broke down on the stand. She was crying on the stand. I felt like I didn't deserve my kid. And this was during the time that Culture, this was probably a couple of months after Culture was born, and she was dealing with this whole debacle of defamation. And she essentially said that she didn't know Tasha K, and she only knew Tasha K because of a post that Tasha K made where she was promoting this Star Marie Jones video, and she kept tagging Cardi B and hashtagging her to get her attention. And then when Cardi B didn't want to, Tasha K asked Cardi B to get on her platform to debunk this, and she said no, she wasn't getting on her platform to debunk it. One, her management wouldn't let her do it, and two, it would have just made the story bigger. So from that point on, she continued to try to bait her to get onto her platform, and then when she didn't do it, she continually taunted her, harassed her, and spread it voluminous amount of lies. When the lawyer Lisa Moore asked, did you know Star Marie Jones? Cardi said she met Star Marie Jones while working in a strip club in New York, but she only encountered her twice while working in a strip club in New York City. And she said that there was 2 instances where she interacted with Star Marie Jones. In one instance, she told the jury that when Cardi was on the stage dancing, Star Marie Jones would be picking up her money while she was dancing. And in another instance, there were other strippers who saw Star Marie Jones picking up money that didn't belong to her, and they were going to fight Star Marie Jones, and Cardi B said she interceded so they wouldn't beat her up. When asked, had Star Marie Jones ever been at her residence, she said no. She's never seen her outside the club, and she was only a co-worker and knew nothing about her life. So these are the things that are happening in the court right now. And the attorney Lisa Moore, who's with the Moore Law Firm, is doing a pretty good job. There were 2 objections made by Tasha K's attorney, Olga, that were sustained. They were kind of leading questions, but she was able to recover and just rephrase the question. So I didn't know Cardi B was going to take the stand today. I didn't know she was going to take the stand. I didn't think that it was necessary, but apparently they wanted to make it a point with the jury that how it affected her. And clearly, based on this woman, Cardi B, saying she wanted to commit suicide, I didn't even know that was to the magnitude of what she was dealing with. And when she stated that it affected her marriage in that she didn't want to have sex with her husband, she needed therapy. She had to get counseling. This was really bothering her. She said that in one instance, when she there was a post where she posted her picture of her and her daughter, Culture, and she had kissed Culture, and then she saw some of the comments where people were saying, don't you have herpes? Why are you kissing her? So these are the type of effects that she had to deal with because of these lies. And the jury's listening to this very attentively. And I would just say that we're on a lunch break, but there's going to be a lot more testimony. And I just don't see how the cross-examination of her is going to be to the benefit of Tasha K. And I don't want to go into another line of questioning prior to Cardi B taking a stand. And that's when her husband, Tasha K's husband, Sheikna Kibi, took the stand. And guys, remember, we're taking notes in court, so I have to refer back to my notes so I can give you the actual testimony. One of the interesting things that happened during the testimony was when the attorney, one of Cardi's attorneys, was examining Sheikna. He was asked in so many words, did Tasha K have control over whether or not the videos came down? He said yes. He basically said he had no control whether or not the videos came down. He threw his wife under the bus for the most part. It appeared that while he's the owner, he said Tasha K testified that her husband was the president of Kibi Studios. But when he took the stand, he said, well, I'm not the president, I'm the owner. And then the lawyer for Cardi B asked him, do you see the distinction between the owner and the president? So he said, well, I'm the owner. But he also said that he had no control over whether or not the videos in question came down. So ask yourself a question. If you're the president or the owner of a company and you receive cease and desist letters to remove content from a company that you own, why would you not take ownership of the content that's on your platform if you're the owner? So it made no sense in the logic behind him saying that it was his wife who made the decision whether or not to take the videos down. It didn't make any sense, because in an earlier testimony, the lawyer for Cardi B asked, did you guys have a ownership working agreement or SOP or standard operating procedures for the company? So who makes the determination whether or not content goes up or content goes down? So it was a lot of blaming, and I think he felt, in my opinion, I think he felt that if he said he didn't have control over taking videos down, it was up to his wife, it would absolve him of any wrongdoing. But when you're 50% owner of a company, then you're 50% responsible, and you have the same culpability as the person that is doing the harm. So we're going back. First and foremost, we're going back in because Cardi's on the stand right now, and she's making a very powerful presentation with her testimony. And I would just say that this case is, I really didn't believe that she was going to take the stand because I didn't see that it was necessary. But I think this is just the icing on the cake. It's nothing more powerful than hearing the person who's being victimized tell her story. It's very powerful. She's a very good witness. And I would say that, Cardi curses. She cussed. And she said when she was giving her testimony, she didn't hold back. She said it. The jury, it was no flinching or reaction. This person we know as Cardi B, Miss Cardi B, is someone who has shown the jury that she's a regular person. And when asked how did she come up, she talked about when she went to a Borough Manhattan Community College. She did 2.5 semesters in college. She spoke about when she was in high school. She graduated from high school. She spoke about her first job working in a supermarket at the age of 18 and a half. And she took a job as a stripper because she was late for her job as a worker in the supermarket. And her employers suggested that she go across the street and work to get a job as a stripper. And she said the other reason why she worked as a stripper was because she was in an abusive relationship, and as a result of that relationship, she had to make money to get out the relationship. So Cardi's being very transparent. She's being very transparent. And this is a very interesting case. Very interesting case at this point. And I kept on turning around to look at Tasha K and her husband to see if they had any type of remorse or any type of emotion to her testimony, and they were stoic. The husband just kept on staring straight ahead, and I think 1 or 2 times Tasha K turned around and looked at the back of the courtroom, perhaps for a reaction. But in my opinion, it's not going good for the blogger lady. Right. So you went to BMCC, right? Borough Manhattan Community College down by Chambers Street. Absolutely. So I'm going to read a couple of questions. Yeah, I thought the husband, let me say this, the husband said on 2 different occasions that what the wife testified to was not true. And I don't know if he realized that he called his wife a liar, because one, he said that he's not the president of the company, he's the owner of the company. When asked, do you believe the president and the owner are the same, one and the same? He said, yes. But he's never used the term, according to him, in his whole course of doing business, as identify himself as a president. So I don't know. I don't know what type of trial preparation that was, but I would just say that they need to get their stories together, because it's not looking good. Someone said these people will try to hold on to TK's lies because they don't like Cardi B. But you have to ask yourself a question. Why don't you like Cardi B? There was a lot of lies told about Cardi B. And Cardi B testified that because Tasha K used the hashtag on YouTube in her videos, that when Cardi B's music videos will come up, it will be one of Cardi B's videos and there'll be another video of Tasha K, which will essentially make the video go viral, because then people searching for the music, now they're looking at videos that are damaging to Cardi's career. And Cardi talked about how she came up from humble beginnings. She talked about her closeness to her family. She talked about how they get together to be with her grandmother in her New York apartment. She has a close connection to her family, so this has really affected her. And you got to ask yourself a question: if you're a mother, if you're a parent, and you are a career woman, and you have to balance all this that's happening while you're trying to help feed your family, and you're seeing someone is intentionally trying to destroy your career. The fact that Cardi said she wanted to commit suicide should tell you something. It's nothing to laugh about that. This woman said she wanted to commit suicide. I mean, she's a human being like you and me. So you got to ask yourself the question, what is it really worth it? So someone is financially enriching themselves off of the misery of someone else, and no one sees nothing wrong with that? No one sees that as a problem? If you think that it should be something to be joyous about, you might want to reconsider who you are as a person. In any event, that's my opinion. And I'm going back inside, guys.